back for the fourth singles match in the Hong Kong versus Japan women's match. Li Ho-ching, 21-year-old, world rank number 14. An outstanding match she played earlier. Unbelievably patient, firm at the table. She's got the eye of the tiger. Very steady, outstanding demeanor. What a dramatic match, still settling down from the last victory of Hirano Sayaka.
Li Ho-ching has had a wonderful tournament, but the young lady on screen there, Kasumi Ishikawa, ranked 9 in the world, 21 years of age, also same age as her opponent, but they've met 8 times, and would you believe the score is 8-0 to Ishikawa. So the track record's strong favourite is Ishikawa of Japan, but we've seen a few of those records shattered. Indeed, we've seen some in this game shattered. So, rankings, it favours Ishikawa. She's 9, Li Ho-ching is 14. Not a big difference, but 5 places on the world ranking is significant. But the track record of 8 wins to 0 for Ishikawa, I think, is a very significant statistic.
And to make things interesting, Don, here's an interesting statistic. Li Ho-ching was 0-6 against the Team Chopper. And now, she takes a win for the first time in the most important match of her life against her. The first win, the most recent win, the most important win. So I don't see what's stopping her from doing the same thing against Kasumi Ishikawa. It's definitely Li Ho-ching's day.
2 contrasting styles, of course. She beat the defender, who she'd never beaten before, and now she's got to beat an attacker she's never beaten before. But I agree, it could be her day. She's certainly had a great tournament. She's impressed me enormously with not just her ability, but with her attitude, and it's Kasumi Ishikawa to serve at the start of the first game.
Love one.
A little bit of luck off the top of the net. First point goes to Li. This time the edge of the paddle, not in favor of Li.
I think we'll have a lot of these close to the table quick encounters, and I've got a sneaky feeling Ishikawa may just be a little bit quicker. I think Li Ho-ching will be probably stronger away from the table constantly. But a lot of this game is going to be decided between the close to the table encounters, and that's maybe where Ishikawa is just a little bit quicker.
Right now, we've seen a lot of spin from Ishikawa controlling the points. And again, the heavy underspin, she's just generating more spin. The top spin balls are kicking. Block's not able to keep down. Li's having some trouble, and then the push. Outstanding footwork from Ishikawa, running around the forehand, deep on the backhand corner, and then the ball comes back. You'll see the backhand here takes it to the opposite side of the table. 3 steps away, but Ishikawa's there for another loop. Outstanding counter right off the bounce, a high-risk shot from Li. Still early in game 1, Ishikawa starting very strong. A little bit too soft on that block. And the fast feet of Ishikawa are going to step in and get that ball while it's high. Excellent placement deep on the table with that loop.
Let 2-5.
Oh, that's very good. Strong forehand topspin wide to Ishikawa's backhand. that we had a banana-type backhand flick in that rally, which created the opportunity for the forehand topspin. Ishikawa now with her 2 serves.
Let 5-3.
A lot of very tight serves here, a few lets already. Fast serve into the body. Looked like it had topspin on it, but it was heavy under. Nice adjustment on the receive by Lee. Still just trailing by 2. She's got 2 serves on her racket. A few steps off the table, Lee goes for the punch, but the spin again from Ishikawa. Great pace on it as well. Just outstanding technique to get so much rotation on the ball. One after another. Each shot better than the one before. Backhand, good spin. Backhand real fast, cross court. Steps up, catches it at its peak to finish the point. Outstanding power. Ishikawa is playing very loose right now.
Let 8-4.
Playing very loose, but the serves are very tight. And the way Lee approached that, it's a little bit difficult. Even if she makes that shot, it's arcing up high. Ishikawa's going to have a nice forehand ball.
6 game points, a very comprehensive performance by Kasumi Ishikawa. Just that little bit quicker as we predicted at the beginning of the game.
And game 1 has Ishikawa written all over it. 11-4 for a very decisive win for Japan. Game 1, Ishikawa.
So the players make their way out to the table for the second game. Of course, a massive entry, over 120 teams here in Tokyo at these World Team Championships. Just very quickly worth mentioning the teams that have been promoted into the top division, the championship division, at the next World Championships. In the women's, Brazil, Sweden battled hard, and they'll be promoted in 2 years' time. And in the men's category, I'm delighted to say that my own country, England, were promoted up to the top category alongside of Italy. So well done to Brazil, Sweden, England and Italy.
Outstanding first backhand block there from Ishikawa, but the next ball from Lee, spinny and great placement. Congratulations, Don, by the way, on England. That's awesome.
Do you know, Adam, there's a question that there are only 5 teams that have ever won both the men's and women's team events. And not surprisingly, China, Japan, Czechoslovakia have done it many years ago. Of course, that country now has been split. We have 2 countries, Czech Republic and Slovakia, and the other 2 countries. And you think it's very appropriate that we're commentating here are the USA and England.
Exactly, 1937 for the USA.
And some similar time for England as well, so it was a long time ago, but who knows where we'll be in 5 years' time, the USA and England, but at least we're on the right pathway. As indeed is Ishikawa down here. She's won the first game comfortably,
2-3.
and she has a 3-2 lead in the second game, and it's all looking good for Japan. Their men just failed in the semi-final against Germany. It's looking a little bit better here for the women. Still a lot to do, but
3-all.
it's looking good.
So we're tied up at 3 points apiece in game 2. Ishikawa with the serve. So far, this is a much tighter game than the first. And Lee showing great placement variation, staying close to the table, not allowing much time for Ishikawa to set up her spin shots, which have been very effective. Wouldn't surprise me if this is the words of Li Qing, trying to keep Lee right up near the table.
Well done, Li Qing. 5-3 in the lead. We were just mentioning the teams that have been promoted. I also think Mexico are worth a mention. They got promoted men and women from Division 3, so congratulations to Mexico. A lot of hard work going in there, bringing the players on. It's paying dividends. And what a turnaround down here.
Yeah, Mexico's been doing some great stuff. I know their training programs, they're playing a lot in North America, getting around and really doing a great job. A lot of improvement with the youth. Look at that right next to the table. Great power right off the bounce, some high-risk shots. Lee is playing fearlessly. Really just employing the coach's advice. Of course, that's an assumption, but the game has changed so much from game 1. You have to feel that she's gotten some wisdom and a new game plan out here. That kicking serve jumps up and catches the edge of the paddle for Lee. Ishikawa still trailing by 3. Some topspin of her own. Lee making the ball kick up right near the table. Great trajectory. It's a 4-point lead for Lee. After losing the first game 11-4, now has 8-4. Right idea, takes it early, tries to get it right off the bounce and take it to the opposite side of the table. Just overdoes it by a bit. Still has a 3-point lead and the serve.
Push from Ishikawa, second bounce on the baseline. Li Ho-Ching has to win this game if she's going to have any chance of winning this match. If she goes down 2-0 to a player she's never beaten before, a player who's ranked above her in the world, can't see it happening. If she wins this game, she's got a good chance.
Ishikawa staying planted in the right spot, controlling like a control center, just moving it around, delegating the ball to different parts of the table. Lee looked like the only one running around on that.
Timeout has been called by Hong Kong. Of course, quite rightly, the momentum has definitely changed. I think 3 consecutive points for Ishikawa. And I'm sure Li Qing, the Hong Kong coach, will hope that this break breaks that momentum. He knows that if his player loses this, always difficult when you're the underdog. If you go 2-0 down, it's tough.
From a body language standpoint, once again, my Cantonese not as fluent as he used to be in the late 80s, but I think he's trying to say, we can't have you playing passive. Instead of just blocking with the racket head up, put a little extra spin on it, staying at the table. Try to drive the ball, force her to take a quicker shot. If it's soft, she's gonna step in and exploit the angle, but you need to stay aggressive. It's an active timeout for an active play.
7-8.
Last serve in this sequence of 2. Big point. What a service. An absolute rocket straight down the line. That's why these players are great players. They do the unexpected.
I love that snap she does right on the serve to come into the ball. It's like the whole body collapses on the ball. 8-all, 4 in a row for Ishikawa. And loop after loop, moving around, keeping the aggression up, staying on the attack. Lee really demonstrating great footwork and power. Ishikawa saying, play smart, okay, I will. Gets away with the soft backhand. Ishikawa normally eats that for dinner. Open court to the forehand side, cross court. And now Lee Ho-Ching has 2 game points to tie this up at 1 game apiece. And she does it. First opportunity. Lee takes the game and it is tied up. You can hear the humming and hawing in the crowd. This is anybody's match.
Third game, Japan to serve, level.
Game 3 tied up at 1 apiece. Ishikawa's got the serve to start us off. And the point started out strong for Lee as she was moving Ishikawa around the table. Lets one loose against the spin ball, and the first point goes back to Ishikawa.
Good start by Ishikawa. Clearly she's trying to put Lee Ho-Ching under a little bit more pressure early in the rally. Not let her get in with those big backhand and forehand topspins. Tactics crucial in this match. The long serve to the backhand, I felt there Ishikawa could have had a go at it. She's probably telling herself that, raising her finger.
An excellent placement there by Lee, right into the body. Getting the push right off the bounce, a little extra spin on it. Ishikawa not making the adjustment and lifting. It's 2-all.
That forehand topspin, she's not getting the racket over the ball. A little bit more topspin from Ung.
Lee right now playing very well against Ishikawa. And that's 2 straight points for Lee. The sports psychology, before when it was 2-2, I think that was 3 straight points for Lee, actually. You saw Ishikawa shaking her head, yes, yes.
5-2.
This is 4 in a row for Lee.
She walked over to the bench then. I thought she was going to ask the coach to call a timeout maybe.
I think the ball just sort of crept through the barriers a little bit.
Certainly. It's Ishikawa who's under the cosh at the moment. 4 consecutive points for Ung.
Lee.
2-6.
Lee Ho-Ching right now, doing well, up 6-2 over Ishikawa.
Just getting my players a little bit mixed up there. I'm still thinking about that game of Ung and that remarkable win by Hirano.
Very memorable match, Don.
Too memorable for me. But meanwhile, Lee Ho-Ching, 14 in the world, 21 years of age. Now, very impressive performance, 2-1 down. Now leads 7-2.
Big backhand gets the crowd all riled up. Ishikawa with the first point in a long time, now trailing by 4. Two outstanding shots, big forehand deep to the backhand and another one wide to the forehand. Lee is a several shot cannon right now, recharging between each shot. And now with the blocks on the backhand side, very strong. Shutting down Ishikawa's game completely. Ishikawa's spin used to be overpowering. Lee just getting in right off the bounce, so she doesn't have to worry about the kick as much. I think that's the one change we've seen since game 1 that's made such a huge difference. Beautiful combination, deep serve right into the body, fast, gutsy serve. And then you can see Lee giving a little bit of space as she had to back up for that serve. The next ball, spinning and kicking. The deep serves, 2 in a row from Ishikawa. Starting a nice trend. We'll see if this changes anything, if she can get out of this game alive. Otherwise, it might be a tactic to think about for the following game. Long serves from both players. And now it's 5 game points for Lee Ho-Ching. Excellent effort, great strength. You can hear the grunt of Ishikawa as she got over the top of that ball. Look at this backhand. Ugh.
I think we've got to see more of that from Ishikawa in the rest of this match. Just putting Lee Ho-Ching in under a bit more pressure. Exactly like that. Strong forehand topspins. A bit harder on the backhand. Possibly it's a little bit too late in this third game. She still faces 3 game points.
And this is what it looked like they were talking about on the timeout when Lee was over in the corner. No more passive blocks. You can't just be there with the racket head up waiting. You've got to come over the top of it. Use your wrist, put a little extra topspin back to keep the pressure on Ishikawa. This is several game points now from 10-6 to 10-8. 10-5, I believe.
Perfect return of service. It drifted long. It was neither short nor long and fast. Ishikawa's determined to be positive on the return of serve.
And if Lee wants to take this game, she has to remember what she was talking about during the timeout. She's got to take the aggressive attack here. Got to initiate.
Play, please. 10-9.
The umpire from England. asking Lee to get on with things. Oh, can you believe it?
What a
5
comeback.
consecutive points.
Unbelievable, the hooking forehand coming over the top of it. One more beautiful technique as she brings the paddle right up to the forehead from a wide stance. Aggressive blocks from Lee. She did everything she could on that point, but Kasumi Ishikawa, 5 incredible points in a row to bring it back to deuce in the third.
Oh, that forehand topspin down the line. It was positive, it was aggressive, but it just caught the top of the net. I think it would have been a winner.
And this is the drama that happens. 5 points in a row. Lee not able to take advantage of 1 of 5 game points. And now finally getting a point. Getting another game point opportunity here.
And she flicks off the end of the table, Ishikawa. Great comeback, 10-5 down. Levels it at 10 points each. But then arguably 2 difficult shots she took on. She missed them both. And it's Lee Ho-Ching who takes the third game 12-10 and leads by 2 games to 1.
Wow. And the players come back to the table for game 4. Kasumi Ishikawa
Hong Kong to serve.
has never lost to Lee Ho-Ching, but right now, Lee Ho-Ching is leading 2 games to 1, and starting with the serve. Ishikawa takes the first point. Whole bench on their feet from the start of the game.
Oh, well played, Lee Ho-Ching. We mentioned the fact that she's ranked at 14 in the world. It's worth noting that 12 months ago she was ranked at 58, so she's moved up some 44 places in the last 12 months. Very impressive play.
And Dawn, if she can win this match here, I think her ranking will climb even more. 2 solid wins against players that she's never beaten.
That's the impressive thing, I think, Adam. She's never beaten. 6-0 was her track record against Ishigaki, the defender, and 8-0 is her track record against Ishikawa. That's 14 defeats against the 2 Japanese players and no victories. And to pull off 2 victories in the semi-final of the World Team Championships is remarkable, particularly when you consider there's a capacity crowd of Japanese supporters behind Ishikawa. A real gutsy performance.
The table was left open, but the spin of Lee made it too tough for Ishikawa to stay on top of the ball. Unfortunate mishit for Lee after a great backhand opener. Putting a little extra spin on that ball from off the table into the backhand of Ishikawa. Came back with a forehand opportunity, but now it's tied up at 3-all. Individuals shouting out Nippon.
The long, fast backspin serve. Lee stepping across to try and spin it with the backhand. Just watch Lee as she comes across. There she goes. And the heavy backspin. She fails to lift.
Serve is just outstanding. Worked very well in the first match for Ishikawa. 2 quick points, and it's now a lead by 2. Lee is down 3-5. Still up 2 games to 1. Outstanding power from 2 steps behind the table. One forehand after another, just ripping it wide into the forehand of Ishikawa. Lee now trails by 1, 4 points to 5. And she looks so calm and cool. Started the point off well with the shot wide, just off the corner of the table, but Ishikawa doing a great job of spinning it up and keeping it low. Ishikawa holds her lead of 2 points, 6-4.
Good play by Ishikawa. She's just got to find that balance between not being passive, not taking unnecessary risks, and that was just about it there. She played each shot with purpose. She used the elbow, she used the wrist, she was spinning the ball. If she plays too passive, then Lee Ho-ching takes the initiative. If she plays too aggressive, she makes errors. That was the perfect balance.
5-7.
Still, this game very much in the balance, 7-5. But Lee Ho-ching now has her 2 serves to come. Backhand to backhand down the line. Lee Ho-ching had the confidence to stay there, to take Ishikawa on at backhand to backhand. And it paid dividends.
Close to the net, the fast feet of Ishikawa, stepping in and taking the ball before it hits its peak. Excellent timing on that shot. Lee knows this is a big point. Trailing by 2, and now Ishikawa has 2 serves for the advantage. Look how calm Lee looks. Cool hand Lee. Very smooth play, very confident, just staying on top of the ball, bringing it back, not forcing a shot that's not there. Little surprised we haven't seen more aggression and spin from her.
Again, Lee holding the ground, but a good positive return, putting Ishikawa under a little bit of pressure. Ishikawa went for the aggressive topspin, but Lee had just put enough on the ball to create problems. And now it is 8 points apiece, and Lee Ho-ching with the serve.
Right into the body, excellent placement by Ishikawa as Lee tries to turn on the ball. Racket head gets there late and it catches the top of the racket. Ishikawa has a 1-point lead, edging out to the end of this game. What a point. Jammed into the body, spinning it up slowly. The change of pace coming back to ruin it for Ishikawa, used to the fast balls that started off the rally, and we are at 9-all in game 4. If Lee wins the next 2 points, we're going to a 5th match, and it'll be the first win for Lee against Ishikawa in their history. If Ishikawa wins, we're going to a game 5.
What a great service, and then the smash behind the serve. Wonderful play by Ishikawa. Game points.
The last 2 times before this that Ishikawa did long serves to the forehand, she won the point outright. This tactic seems to be working for her well. Long out to the forehand, topspin or backspin, both effective.
Yeah! Oh, she's done it!
And the half-long serve earns her the third ball. She spins it up, and we're taking this to a Game 5. Stick around, we'll be back in a moment for the 5th and deciding game of the match. So as a spectator, this is exactly where you want to be. Game 5, every game a nail-biter after the first.
Level.
Iishikawa took the first one very convincingly, 11-4, and after that, it has been anybody's game.
Good topspin down the line by Iishikawa to take the first point. The Japanese coach there looking quite calm at the end of the line, but he'll know if it goes to 2-2. Ishikaki has never beaten Jiang Hu-yun. So, to be honest, head-to-heads haven't been too indicative this evening. We've seen a lot of players turn that around, but even so, this is a big, big game. Edge ball for Li Ho-ching. Sticks her hand up, acknowledges her good fortune. 1 point each. And it's Li with her 2 serves to come.
Very steady blocking play by Li. Right at the table, changing the pace of the ball placement just a little bit. Ishikawa bothered by that.
Short play there, both players soft hands, touching the ball back 3-4 times, and then a great backhand block out wide to Li's forehand by Ishikawa. Look at that, 2 games apiece, 2 points apiece, couldn't be closer.
After a series of outstanding blocks and returns, Li turns on the ball to take the forehand attack, falling just short. Ishikawa showing a very promising start, but still only 1 point ahead in Game 5.
Oh, caught the top of the net, the block from Li Ho-ching off the end of the table. The players will change end when the first player makes 5. Big psychological boost for Ishikawa. If she can change ends at 5-2 up, she has to win a point against the serve, of course, to do it, as it is Li Ho-ching with her 2 serves. Backspin on the serve, the flick into the net, didn't lift the spin.
And you can hear the screams and the passion from the coach of the Hong Kong team, Li Cheng.
Oh, what a wonderful return of serve. It was mid-table, I thought, but nevertheless, she has the touch, wonderful touch, the delicate skills just to return that ball tight over the net.
5-3.
The Japanese crowd had the disappointment of defeat this afternoon. Wonderful match for the men against Germany, but they came out the wrong side of a very close affair. Can the women turn it round?
5-4.
And the first person screaming is the coach of the Hong Kong team. Lee closing in 1 point at a time. Ishikawa with the serve. A great serve deep into the backhand. She seemed caught off guard by the placement of the receive. One thing about a long serve is you can expect a long receive. Question is, where's it going to be and what's the spin going to be?
Halfway stage, 5 points apiece. Oh! Came across the inside of the ball, faded it wide to Lee Ho-ching's forehand. Let's watch this again. Here it comes. Look at the side spin. The ball moving towards the barriers.
And that ball is as deep to the corner as it can possibly be. As you said, catching the inside, bending it away, getting a 1 point lead back.
Again, the return of serve is fantastic. Great touch. You need very soft hands. The delicate return of serve. It looks easy, but it's far from easy to do, especially under the pressure that Ishikawa is out there. Look at that, 7-5, deciding game. Oh, she's missed it. Big point. Hit the net cord, flew off the end.
And how did Ishikawa cover that backhand? The ball was as deep as could possibly be. Look at that, full extension brings it right back deep on the table. It's a 3 point lead. Ishikawa's up 8-5 in game 5. A 4 point lead. If Ishikawa closes this out, then Japan is advancing to play China in the finals.
That's why she's a great player. One great point there and 1 point she shouldn't have won, but somehow she got a bat on it, she got it back, and she won that point as well. 9-5, she's in the lead. Brave service there from Lee Ho-ching, inviting the topspin. Ishikawa nods to herself. She did the right thing. She attacked the ball, but she just hit it a fraction too hard, or lifted it a fraction too hard.
I can't believe how fast she could counter that ball back. Paddle up and ready to go.
1 point for a place in the final. 4 overall match points. One of those points required.
Let 10-6.
Just caught the top of the net, well spotted by the umpire.
I feel like Ishikawa's almost crying in celebration already.
Leading edge of the racket, just rushed it slightly.
Very nice receive on a fast, long serve. A lot of pressure right now, and Lee responding very well to a risky serve.
It's there! Ishikawa, what a wonderful night for Kasumi Ishikawa. 2 victories and Japan in the final of the team event here in Tokyo.
That is 9 wins and 0 losses in this head-to-head. You said it, Don. Kasumi Ishikawa with 2 5-game wins. The tears are running down the faces of Ishikawa. Japanese team celebrates, and we're going to be seeing a Japanese-Chinese final. Cannot wait for the interviews in the media room. Thank you for tuning in to the World Championships here in Tokyo, Japan. Come back tomorrow. We've got some exciting matches for you. I'm Adam Bobrow with Don Parker. We'll be back.